Greetings, fellow bridge lovers, and welcome back to It's Your Call. I'm your host, Kai, and today I am joined by Robert.
Hi,
He is quite young, and he's on the younger age in terms of bridge players, right?
for bridge players, I am an infant practically. Yes, yeah.
Yeah, just we're both baby bridge players. Robert is extremely interested in anything bidding, but what got you into bridge in the first place, Robert?
I always grew up playing cards with my grandparents, and we would play Rook and other games, but I never played bridge until college at Georgia Tech, where I had always heard about bridge as this really interesting, deep card game, but I never learned it, so I was
Mm-hmm.
pretty interested in joining Bridge Club. And I played there casually for a while and really was very, very bad. I mean, I was just enjoying the game on a very simple level, so I had basically no idea what was going on and would like redouble contracts a lot and that sort of thing.
Ooh, everyone's
Yeah.
favorite redouble.
They just one time they just stuck me in a teams game, and I didn't know how like scoring works, so I would just redouble things, and my pickup partner was just so mad at me, and I didn't know how teams. I didn't even know there were 4 people on a team. Like I had no idea what was going on.
You're just playing bridge. That's what you were doing.
Yeah, I was just
And
playing bridge. But then I got more seriously into the game, just playing at clubs where I started to actually get really invested in the mechanics of the game and its depth and how interesting it is. And the side of bridge I've always like found the most interesting is bidding and bidding systems and making your own bidding system. I think it's just a really engaging problem to think about that's very open-ended. So there's a lot of room for creativity and problem solving there.
agreed. So what is your bidding system of choice at this point? Have you made it
Hmm.
yourself?
I don't know. That's a tricky question. Okay. No, but with my partnership, I enjoy our agreements the most is currently just a strong club system.
Uh-huh.
It's pretty similar to precision, but we've gotten rid of both the 2 club and 2 diamond precision openings. So all of that is stuck in 1 diamond, which
Okay.
is a sort of system I thought was bad for a very long time. But I think is now I have a different evaluation of it and think it's pretty good.
Uh-huh.
So I'm currently playing Strong Club with my main partner, Matt. I also play a Transfer Walsh system with another very close partner, Maxime.
Mm-hmm.
So those are both 2 relatively complicated systems I enjoy.
All right, wonderful. And I'm sure that you've added your own style and just flavor to it to make it you. And that's one thing that I like to do with systems is,
Mm.
make it what is comfortable for you. I mean, of course, it's a very, very little adjustment that you make, but anything that helps you remember things or just feels right to you, like you can logically deduce what the system is without even having like necessarily to remember what the system is.
Mhm.
That is the kind of system that you want to play for yourself, and hopefully you can find a partner where those two things align, where your style and their style work out. But today we have a bidding problem that might actually have some system funneries going on
Mm.
in it that I have for you today. It is going to be a blast. Are you ready?
I'm so ready. Woo!
Let's go. That is the most enthusiastic one that I have heard so far. I love it. Thank you. All right. So,
Ah,
this is our hand. I told you it'd be
yay,
fun.
this is
Yeah, strong club opening, right? No.
yeah.
So, for context, you are playing match points in a local sectional,
Wow, okay.
and you are given this thing. What even is this? A seven
Mm.
five shape with both the minors. Not couldn't even be kind enough to give us a dang major. How would you start this bid off with 2/1?
Yeah, well, I think a big first thing to consider in 2/1 is if you're going to open 2 clubs or not. Obviously, the hand is very, very, very strong. I'm not the biggest proponent of loser count or totally understand how this works, but I mean, we have the hand where we'll always bid to slam. In my view, I'm never going to, unless some really unusual information comes out during the auction, I'm never going to settle unless we're at least in a small slam.
Mm-hmm.
So on hands like this, especially 2-suiters, I would definitely not open 2 clubs, even though we have really a exceptionally strong hand, even for a 2 club opening. I mean, this is
Right.
way stronger than most 2 club openings.
Completely agree.
I would definitely start with a club
All
for
right.
sure.
Started with a club, and I like your comment of You not even start with 2 clubs, and it's way better than most 2 club hands. And yet we have fewer than 22 high card points.
Yeah.
I mean,
this isn't really a hand to evaluate in high card points, though, right? Like, we have like one loser. We have like the ace of diamonds is a loser pretty much. So honestly, if I was dealt this hand, I don't think I would even count like how many high card points I have. I'd just be like, oh, this is a hand.
Oh, look at that. Well,
Yeah.
open 1 club. What I like to tell myself is that the 2 club opening is when you are nervous that your partner is going to pass you, and when you might have game opposite a 5 count or a 4 count, something that would pass an opening hand. But also the fear factor is that your partner is going to pass you, right? So if you have a hand where on average your partner is going to be responding, you don't need to open 2 clubs. And here, based on high card points, that's where it's important to think about high card points, is your partner on average is going to have 6 high card points, or the opponents are going to be able to overcall and you're going to be able to show your hand regardless. So
yeah, on this one, I mean, we have spade shortness, we have a spade void, so I'm really never worried about it passing out.
right.
Also, if you play like something like Transfer Walsh, where 1 club may be as short as 2, partners probably, even if you don't play that, many partners are going to bid with almost 0 points in a 5-card major. So there's almost a 0% chance this passes out.
I agree. Well, it goes pass from west and 1 heart from your partner, and it goes pass
Wow.
by east.
That's a very surprising start to the auction for sure. This is obviously where's the spades on the hand. You expect partner probably has 4 spades already, so probably 5 hearts, but I mean, we don't really know. We're going to continue the auction with 2 diamonds, which is going to show extra values.
Right.
And just willingness to find out more.
Right, and this is where system comes on. This is a reverse, everyone. We all love our reverses. Even though in the very beginning of Bridge we want to deny their existence, they still live though. One of the hardest things is handling a reverse auction, or just any auction where the opening bidder has shown 18 or more high card points. How do you proceed after this? And there are plenty of methods, and lots of it is just natural. Do you play reverses as just game forcing? Period.
Absolutely not. I think reverses are, first off, they're not particularly common auctions. You just count them. It's much less than you might think. And it's an area where you can invest a lot of constructive bidding thought. If you read a book like Scanian Majors by Nisland, he goes into a lot of depth on reverses. It's not a particular area I've invested the most time, just because I don't actually think there's a high amount of reward to like really making it scientific, which you can do because the auctions aren't very common. I'm kind of like, on this hand, I'm kind of shocked we haven't had any interference, which is super common on reverse type hands. But yeah, I mean, me saying I haven't thought a lot about it for like bridge theory is kind of relative, so I don't know.
Relative to something else that you have thought a lot about, which is...
Yeah, for instance, but you're asking if it's game forcing. I kind of think 2-diamond reverse in particular should maybe be a little lighter. You really have more space over it to work stuff out than like some of the other reverses. So if you want to be technical, I think it should be the lightest of the possible reverses. If you have like a nice 16 count, I think that's fine, honestly.
Okay, wonderful. One thing that is very commonly used is blackout. From my understanding, blackout is kind of saying that you have a weak bid, which is either 2-no trump or the 4th suit, the lower of the 2. In this case, if partner were to bid 2 spades, you would have a weak hand that wants to stop below game, whereas if you have a strong hand, you would bid something else, like 2 hearts, probably showing 6 or maybe even 5 hearts, and we have a game force opposite reverse, or 2-no trump would be natural and balanced with a hand that wants to go to game opposite a reverse. Do you agree with these methods? Do you have any other methods that you do?
Oh man, this is so thorny. Yeah, I mean, there's many different schools of thought here. One advantage of this is that you get to get opener's exact shape. There's sort of a principle in bridge that often the hand with shortness is better suited to describe their hand. And over like a 2-no start, it's super easy to play something like symmetric over 2-no to just show exact shape. So asking for me personally, there's also other approaches you just talked about where two no trump is natural. There's a lot of merit to that idea because often the opener here is going to be unbalanced. They're going to have a singleton. So if no trump is right, often responder wants to be the first person to bid no trump to guard their tennises in the short suit. I do definitely think that stopping outside of game is not something to devote a lot of bidding space to.
Right.
You know, bidding, it's like what's comfortable with you and your partner. How much memory work do you want to put in? What I play with a lot of partners in 2-over-1 specifically is very simple, and we just play like quote unquote Lebensohl here, where two no trump forces 3 clubs, and which is passed or further bids are sign off. I don't think that's best, but it is a very simple agreement. So people who play that, they'll play 2 majors forcing is usually also within this set of agreements.
Okay. So what you're proposing is just basic Lebensohl, where it's not, it's modified Lebensohl, where any weak hand kind of goes through 2 no trump, you would force to be 3 clubs, and then North will sign off with whatever they think is best, and then any other bid is going to be game forcing. It's very similar to the whole blackout thing, where it's either 2 no trump or the unbid suit, and they have the same thing, or at least that's my interpretation of the two.
I've never heard the blackout term, but I play that exact same thing, just not by that name, with Maxime.
Okay.
So, yeah,
I
haven't heard that term, but I'm familiar with that.
Here, your partner. Let's assume.
Oh yeah, if partner bid 2-no, I don't know if I would collaborate with 3 clubs.
Right? No, you wouldn't.
I don't really care.
Yeah. So but we're just talking about general system things, right? If that were the case, if it were the case, most of the time you would collaborate with 3 clubs, and that's when you've got a bare minimum, right? Well, not necessarily a bare minimum. It's not. It's a hand that is like, okay, I get it. You're weak, and you want to stop below game, and you're just like, yeah, okay, fine. But with a hand like this, you would be like, oh no, we're going. There's no way we're stopping. We're gonna keep going, and you would do that by bidding anything other than 3 clubs.
Here, I would the first call that comes to mind, and this is just what snap came to my mind of partner bid 2 no trump, is I would probably bid 5 spades, but that's maybe getting ahead of the auction.
5 spades. Bit. Okay, so what is 5 spades? This is like a slam force, clearly, and what, showing a void?
Yeah. This would be like exclusion. I'm just looking for the ace of diamonds, and if I get the ace of diamonds, then we'll go from there, and I'll probably bid like, I'd have to think about it. Partner shows the ace of diamonds, but five spades would be a convention, just saying, hey, I have a spade void. What are your aces besides the ace of spades?
Right.
So this would be a weird use of the convention, because you almost should always agree upon suit before using this.
Right.
But here I don't really care about agreeing on suit too much. I just want to know about the ace of diamonds. That's one of the only things I care about on the hand too much.
Right. I completely get it. And for those of you who have never heard of exclusion keycard before, exclusion keycard is a form of keycard where you jump to your void, you jump to the 5 level, and it has to be a jump. Or you could agree otherwise, but most people agree that it must be a jump, and you respond to it by ignoring the ace of spades if you have it. So if you have the ace of spades, it doesn't count as a key card anymore. And my understanding is that most people play 30-14 with exclusion key card. Do you treat that the same?
It's exclusion is weird because it's an agreement that a lot of good players play, but it usually isn't correct to use. Like here on this hand, I'm going to be honest, I don't know if it's like 5 spades is best. It's just like in match points, I would just bid it and hope it works.
All right.
I don't know if I would bid it in other contexts, but like it's sort of like playing exclusion, you need to have a follow-up system over it, which you will remember, because exclusion probably comes up something like every like 500 hands or something. Yeah. So you need to play something that you remember.
Right.
Yeah, I think the main partner I play exclusion with, we just play like 0, 1, 2, 3 steps.
Oh, so you do
which
Gerber
is probably
style.
Really bad, honestly. But I mean, honestly, when are you ever going to have 3 key cards in an exclusion auction? That 3 or 4, that doesn't make sense. So I don't know.
Yeah. So I think, well, I if you're going to use exclusion key card and it makes sense to you, do whatever you do. I'll just go along with whatever it is that you play with your partner here, which is the 0, 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
And in this case, your partner is going to bid 6 clubs.
These clubs. So that's great. So we have the Ace of Diamonds, which is a really good card for us. The thing at this point is, and I was thinking of what we're going to do if partner shows the Ace of Diamonds, right? Partner kind of has a pretty good idea of our hand. Partner knows we have some absolute freak at this point with 5 spades.
Yes.
Knows we're two suited.
Yes.
There's no way we have 3 card heart support at this point, right? We would just bid slower with that sort of hand. So we have some sort of 5 spades is very inelegant in terms of consuming a massive amount of bidding space, but it is a great picture bid
Right.
of our hand. It's really got our hand across immediately. So what I'm getting at is there any chance partner is ever going to take like 6 no trump as like to play? That's kind of unbelievable that they would take it as that. Having said that, I'm not going to risk it. I'm just trying to think of what is the bid that partner absolutely under no conceivable universe could pass. And I think that call is 6 spades. What is 6 spades? I don't know, but partner can't pass it. There's no universe in which partner can pass 6 spades.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just going to make a call, which is for sure forcing.
Right.
And my idea here is I want partner to pick preference for the minor suits.
Right. So it's kind of just saying, partner, bid which suit you think is better, and it's a grand slam force. Clearly, you're just like, I don't really care. And in this case, your partner is probably just gonna bid 7 clubs,
Okay.
and it goes pass to you. Do you want you want to do something else? It's your call.
7 clubs is definitely interesting. Yeah, so partner seemingly may have just the doubleton ace of diamonds or singleton ace of diamonds.
Mm-hmm.
If partner has the doubleton ace of diamonds, we're probably fine. But partner is also on this auction really probably almost always has 4 spades. So I don't know. We're kind of starting to wonder maybe if partner has the singleton ace of diamonds. But anyway, I'm gonna pass.
Yeah.
It's too late to worry about it now.
It's too late to just be like, yeah, nah, let's bid 7. No. 7 clubs is almost always going to be a good score at a local sectional, so just hope it makes. However, we kind of went into hypothetical land here. Your partner actually would not have bid 2 no trump.
Okay.
Let's go back for a moment, and let's say your partner here bid 3 clubs.
3 clubs. Yeah. I mean, 3 clubs, that's a call where we're almost like, I think over 3 clubs, I also just bid 5 spades. That's just an even more encouraging call. I mean, I was willing to bid 5 spades and slam force over discouragement from partner.
Mm-hmm.
So with partner collaborating, it's going to be a similar auction. In a sectional, I don't really care on this particular hand about worrying about like 7 no trump. Like, I just don't care if partner has the ace of spades or not. I don't know. On this auction, we know, quote unquote, I would definitely suspect partner has spade length, but I'm just not worried about it in a sectional.
So it would go 6 spades, just like forcing, and then you would bid 7 clubs. And this auction actually makes you even more excited because you are not worried as much about the fact
Clubs breaking. Yeah.
you're not worried if partner doesn't like clubs about the queen
Yeah.
of clubs, right? So you're just like, okay, great, don't have to worry about the queen of clubs anymore, even if partner doesn't have the queen.
Yeah.
So partner's hand is king queen third of spades, queen
Okay.
fourth of hearts, ace third of diamonds, and 3 small clubs.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
first off, anything that you disagree with in the bidding from the north hand?
Did you say ace third of diamonds?
Ace third.
So, and well, the other auction, not this one, but the one where partner showed partner bid 2 no trump. I think partner should, I don't know, maybe they should, I don't know. It's kind of an interesting question if they should bid 7 clubs or 7 diamonds. I didn't really expect them to have 3 diamonds on the other auction. But yeah, I think partner's bidding is very reasonable. What, they have 11 points?
Yeah, they've got 11 points over there. Yeah. Wow. It's a tough hand, but with your methods, we made it to the 7 clubs contract that exists.
How does 7 clubs do?
It's just cold. The queen of clubs
Yeah.
drops
Okay.
doubleton.
I mean, it's you definitely want to be in 7 clubs, but it would be really funny if 7 clubs went down.
Yeah, no, it does not. Well, you would need either avoid somewhere or queen third offside, which it is not.
Yeah.
Thank God. Wow, what a hand. To our audience, what would you do? I'm dying to know.
Yeah.
We've got Robert's um testimony of what he would do, which has been very, very insightful. A beautiful use of exclusion key card, and we had a great discussion about how to handle reverses because reverses are probably one of the hardest auctions that there is if you don't know how to deal with them.
Moral of the story, final words. Play something simple over reverses, especially if you don't have like the most in-depth partnership of all time. Play something really simple. The
Right.
Lebensohl idea is so simple and it will clarify most of your auctions for you. So,
Agreed.
yeah.
Yeah. Do Lebensohl and yeah, I mean if you play Lebensohl against no trump interference, you can also play Lebensohl over reverses, as you saw here. You can also play Lebensohl over two of a major double pass, and then that's also a really wonderful way to describe three ranges in your hand in most cases. So amazing hand, amazing insights, but yes, audience, what?
Hi, thank you for having me.
Oh, of course. It was absolutely wonderful to have you, Robert. And yeah, I will probably see you at another national somewhere. Definitely at the bridge table again sometime. All right. It's been a good one. I think it's time to say bye, y'all. Toodaloo!